Hi, and welcome to this first video in this year's series aimed at sharing information and advocacy for parents of the gifted. I'm excited to bring you monthly videos of about 5 minutes or less that can give you information to help support the gifted child or children in your life. So today's session is entitled Gifted 101. We often hear the terms gifted or gifted and talented thrown around a lot, but do we know what they really mean? As Galbraith has talked about in research about the 8 great gripes of gifted students, the top one is that gifted students don't really know themselves what it means to be gifted. Is there a definition that we can use? Let's take a look at that. What does it mean to be gifted? Here's what the Texas Education Agency says. A gifted and talented student is a child or youth who performs at or shows the potential for performing at a remarkably high level of accomplishment when compared to others of the same age, experience, or environment, and who exhibits high performance capability in an intellectual, creative, or artistic area, possesses an unusual capacity for leadership, or excels in a specific academic field. So that is what Texas says. Is there a federal definition? Yes. Let's take a look at that next, which is found in the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. Take a look at what is the same and what might be a little different. Students, children, or youth who give evidence of high achievement capability in areas such as intellectual, creative, artistic, or leadership capacity, or in specific academic fields, oh, that's the same, right? Here comes the difference. And who need services and activities not ordinarily provided by the school in order to fully develop those capabilities. That is definitely my favorite part of this federal definition. This working definition acknowledges that these kids, our gifted kids, need services that are different from the regular classroom in order to be successful and fully develop. So you have a student. How do you know if your student is a high achiever or a gifted student? Let's look at some of the characteristics. We know that high achievers are often the ones who know all the answers in the classroom, but a gifted student is the one who poses unforeseen questions. High achievers usually work really hard and they learn the material well. Gifted students can seemingly learn without working hard. It takes an average student multiple times of repetitiously hearing a lesson in order to fully grasp it, whereas a gifted student can grasp the idea or the new concept in oftentimes just the very first time that they hear it. High achievers are the kiddos who have worked hard on their homework, who turn it in on time, all complete and neat, and get straight A's. Gifted students may not necessarily be motivated by grades or even have the desire to turn in their best work all the time or the neatest work. However, a gifted student is consistently working about 2 or more years beyond their age group in at least one area. The great gifted educator Ian Bird has a great analogy for gifted brains using a bicycle. So we've probably all been on a bicycle, right? Imagine yourself getting on the bicycle, and as you start to pedal, you start to move. We all know that there's a minimum speed that we must maintain in order for the bicycle to move forward, right? To continue moving forward. If not, what happens? If we go too slowly, we fall right over. Well, a gifted brain is this bicycle. The main difference is that the gifted brain has a higher minimum speed that must be maintained for the gifted student to continue to move forward and learn and grow. We know gifted students' brains work differently, and therefore They do need educational modifications to be successful. Further videos in this series may explore different ways to support a gifted student in their education through possible strategies and resources available to parents. So I'd like to point out just one today. Here's one to know about, nagc.org. If you haven't yet visited this site, it is the site for the National Association for Gifted Children. There's a wealth of information there, and they have a bunch of informational sheets just front and back that are great for parents. Gives you a good amount of information and some food for thought and resources. So if you haven't checked that out, head on over to National Association for Gifted Children's website. I so look forward to seeing you again next month. Have a wonderful day and enjoy those gifted children.